Having journeyed through the rich tapestry of the Jurassic Coast geology, envisioning the ancient seas that once enveloped it, feeling the might of the forces that folded its rocks, and tracing the diverse environments that have etched their stories into the land, we now stand upon the shores of Lyme Regis. Here, the scenery undergoes a dramatic transformation, with cliffs that are composed of Jurassic limestone and shale, dating back around 200 million years. It's a place where the Earth's deep past comes vividly to life, inviting us to step into its ancient narrative. Here, the abundance of fossils embedded with the cliffs not only reveals the secrets of prehistoric life, but also invites us to explore the rich history of fossil study, highlighting their vital role in unraveling Earth's ancient past and the evolution of life. As dawn illuminates the majestic cliffs of the Jurassic Coast, we invite you to journey along these ancient shores. In this episode, we'll traverse the captivating history of fossil discovery, from whispers of myth to the revelations of science. At the heart of our tale is Mary Anning of Lyme Regis, whose extraordinary finds transformed our understanding of Earth's deep past. Join us as we uncover how these silent stones have shaped our view of the world. The Jurassic Coast is a natural museum, its cliffs exposing rock formations from the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous periods, spanning an astonishing 185 million years of Earth's history. Fossils abound in these rocks, from ammonites to belemnites to the remains of colossal marine reptiles. They offer a window into prehistoric ecosystems, where strange creatures swam in warm seas, and lush forests teemed with life. It's a place where every tide and landslide can unveil a new chapter of our planet's deep past. But before these cliffs became a focal point for scientific discovery, fossils, those enigmatic remnants of bygone eras, had puzzled and fascinated humanity for millennia. The journey to understanding these ancient relics was neither straightforward nor confined to one corner of the globe. It was a path marked by curiosity, myth, religious interpretations, and eventually groundbreaking scientific revolutions. To truly appreciate how the Jurassic Coast became a cornerstone in the study of paleontology, we must embark on a journey through time, exploring how various cultures grappled with the mysteries of fossils long before the advent of modern science. In ancient Greece, over 2 millennia ago, philosophers like Aristotle encountered peculiar stone shapes embedded within rocks, living between 384 and 322 BCE. Aristotle was a pioneering thinker who sought natural explanations for the world around him. However, his interpretations of fossils were constrained by the knowledge of his time. He proposed the idea of spontaneous generation, where life could emerge from non-living matter. To Aristotle and many of his contemporaries, these curious stone formations were not the remnants of ancient life, but natural products of the Earth's creative forces. This perspective endured, influencing scholars like Pliny the Elder in Rome. In his comprehensive work, Naturalis Historia, written around 77 CE, Pliny catalogued numerous natural phenomena, including fossils. Yet he viewed them through a mystical lens, attributing their existence to divine or supernatural causes, disconnected from any concept of Earth's deep history. Across continents, other civilizations were forming their own interpretations of these enigmatic objects. In China, during the Song dynasty, between the 10th and 13th centuries, scholars encountered what they called dragon bones, fossilized remains that captured the imagination. Dragons held a significant place in Chinese mythology, symbolizing power and good fortune. While many believed these fossils were indeed the remains of dragons, some scholars began to question such interpretations, pondering natural explanations for these findings, though the true origins remained elusive. In the Islamic world, Persian polymaths like Avicenna, Ibn Sina, and al-Biruni were making remarkable strides in natural science. In his Book of Healing, published around the year 1027 CE, Avicenna proposed that fossils might be the petrified remains of once-living organisms, a revolutionary idea for the time. While his theorized cause, namely petrifying agents within rocks that could turn organic matter to stone, was not correct, his proposal was still a revolutionary idea for the time. Al-Biruni suggested that the presence of marine fossils in rocks far from the sea indicated that the Earth's landscape had changed over time. shaped by natural forces over vast periods. These insights hinted at the concept of geological change long before it was widely accepted. While in Europe, the Middle Ages saw interpretations heavily influenced by religious doctrine, the Christian belief that God created the earth in 6 days, only a few thousand years prior, left little room for ancient fossils. Many scholars dismiss these objects as anomalies, a few claiming they could even be tricks played by the devil to deceive humanity. Fossils were curiosities, strange and inexplicable within the prevailing worldview. Yet, among various indigenous cultures worldwide, fossils were often seen as sacred objects, the bones of ancestors or mythical beings. In these societies, there was a profound connection between the natural world and the spiritual beliefs, offering alternative perspectives on the significance of these ancient remnants. The dawn of the Renaissance in the 14th century Europe ignited a renewed curiosity about the natural world. Leonardo da Vinci, the quintessential Renaissance man, was not only an artist but also a keen observer of nature. Studying marine fossils high in the mountains of Italy, he reasoned that these shells and remains could only be there if the land had once been submerged under the sea, a radical idea that suggested Earth's landscape had transformed dramatically over time. Da Vinci's insights challenged traditional views but were not widely disseminated during his lifetime. In Japan, during the Edo period, scholars like Kaibara Ekikin examined dragon bones with empirical methods, moving away from mystical interpretations. Similarly, in India, the concept of deep time was inherent in Hindu cosmology, which envisioned vast cycles of creation and destruction spanning millions of years. While fossils were often linked to mythological narratives, these cultural contexts allow for contemplation of Earth's ancient past. It wasn't until the 17th century that the study of fossils began to adopt a more systematic scientific approach. Nicolaus Steno, a Danish scientist working in Italy, made significant contributions that would lay the groundwork for modern geology. In 1669, he introduced the principle of superposition, asserting that rock layers are deposited sequentially, with the oldest at the bottom and the youngest on top. Steno proposed that fossils were the remains of once living organisms embedded in these layers over time, challenging prevailing beliefs and suggesting that the Earth had a much deeper history than previously thought. An integral figure in the tapestry of natural history during the late 17th and early 18th centuries was Maria Sibylla Merian. Merian was a pioneering naturalist and artist who ventured beyond the conventions of her time. Her detailed studies of insects and plants, particularly the metamorphosis of butterflies and moths, were groundbreaking. She meticulously illustrated these transformations, challenging the prevailing belief in spontaneous generation, the idea that life could arise from non-living matter. While Merian's primary focus was entomology, her holistic approach to observing organisms in their natural environments contributed to a deeper understanding of ecological relationships. This perspective was influential in the broader scientific community, encouraging a more integrated view of the natural world that encompassed geology and the study of fossils. By documenting the life cycles of creatures and the interactions with the environment, Merian highlighted the interconnectedness of life and the process of change over time. By the 18th century, momentum was building. French naturalist Georges-Louis Leclerc, Comte de Buffon, suggested that the Earth might be much older than the widely accepted age, perhaps tens or even hundreds of thousands of years. While still far from the true age of our planet, Buffon's ideas challenged the biblical timeline and opened doors for new interpretations. He grappled with the concept of extinction, a controversial notion as it implied imperfections in the divine creation, a radical idea at the time. Early in the 19th century, the Industrial Revolution in England spurred advancements in technology and infrastructure, facilitating geological exploration. William Smith, an English surveyor and geologist, was meticulously mapping the layers of rocks across the country. In 1815, he published the first geological map of England, demonstrating that strata and the fossils within them could be correlated over great distances. His principle of faunal succession showed that fossil assemblages succeeded one another vertically in a specific, reliable order. This breakthrough allowed geologists to date rock layers and understand Earth's history in unprecedented detail. It was in this scientific landscape Ethelred Bennett emerged as one of the first female geologists, a trailblazer whose passion for fossils defied the conventions of her time. Residing in Wiltshire, Bennett dedicated her life to the meticulous study of fossils, amassing an extensive collection of specimens from the Cretaceous strata of her native county, particularly focusing on fossilized mollusks and echinoderms. Her keen eye for detail and systematic approach for cataloguing fossils significantly advanced the understanding of the region's geology. While Bennett's work was centered in Wiltshire, her contributions resonated with the discoveries along the Jurassic Coast. The fossils she studied from the chalk formations provided a crucial contrast to the earlier Jurassic rocks found in places like Lyme Regis. By comparing specimens and stratigraphic layers, scientists of the time could piece together a more comprehensive picture of England's geological history. Bennett corresponded with prominent geologists, sharing her findings and even exchanging fossils, which helped establish connections between different geological periods represented across the country. In an era where women's roles in science were often unrecognized, Ethelred Bennett's achievements stood out. She published her work under her own name, a rarity for women at the time, and earned respect among those aware of her contributions. Though she did not work directly on the Jurassic Coast, her dedication to fossil study complemented the monumental discoveries being made there. Together, these efforts enriched the scientific community's understanding of stratigraphy and paleontology, weaving a more detailed narrative of Earth's ancient past as recorded in its rocks. As the study of fossils evolved, the Jurassic Coast remained a silent repository of Earth's deep history. The cliffs, rich with ammonites, belemnites, and the remains of ancient marine reptiles, awaited those who would unlock their secrets. The stage was set for a new era of discovery, where the mysteries embedded in these rocks would begin to reveal the story of life's ancient past. By the early 19th century, the scientific community was poised for breakthroughs that would transform our understanding of the natural world. The Jurassic Coast, with its unparalleled geological formations, would become a focal point for these discoveries, heralding a new chapter in the study of paleontology. In the year 1799, the small coastal town of Lyme Regis was a quiet haven on England's southern shore. Nestled between sloping cliffs and the rolling seas, it was a place where the rhythms of life were dictated by the tides. Fishermen mended their nets along the harbour, merchants traded goods in narrow streets, and children played on pebbled beaches. The most striking feature of Lyme Regis was, and remains, its towering cliffs that stretch out along the coastline. Unlike the red cliffs of Sidmouth, the grey-blue cliffs at Lyme Regis are composed of layers of Jurassic limestone and shale, their stratified bands telling a story that spans millions of years. The cliffs loom high above the pebbled beaches, their faces etched with the scars of time and weather. Erosion from the relentless tides and frequent landslides revealed new surfaces, often exposing curious imprints and fossilized remains embedded within the rock. The shoreline is dotted with rocky outcrops and tidal pools teeming with marine life. The Cobb, a protective stone harbour while curving into the sea, offered shelter to ships and added a distinctive silhouette against the horizon, and has done so in one form or another since the 13th century. Beyond the immediate coastline, rolling hills and verdant meadows stretched inland, with hedgerows and footpaths crisscrossing the landscape. In 1799, the natural beauty of Lyme Regis was both a blessing and a mystery. The locals knew of the peculiar curiosities that could be found along the beaches, ammonites resembling coiled snakes, belemnites like slender bullets, and other strange stone shapes. Children played among these treasures, and collectors occasionally visited in search of novel finds. However, the true significance of these fossils was not yet understood. The landscape held its secrets tightly, waiting for someone with the curiosity and determination to unlock them. The ever-present sound of the waves crashing against the cliffs served as a constant reminder of nature's power. Storms could be fierce, reshaping the coastline overnight. Yet, On calm days, the sea shimmered under the sun, and the sky stretched wide and open. The interplay of light and shadow on the cliffs highlighted their layered composition, hinting at the ancient worlds preserved within. This was the Lyme Regis into which Mary Anning was born, a place where the ordinary and the extraordinary existed side by side. It was against the stunning and enigmatic setting that Mary would begin her journey, one that would reveal the profound stories hidden within the very rocks beneath her feet. Growing up in Lyme Regis, Dorset, Mary was one of 10 children, but only she and her older brother Joseph survived to adulthood, a stark reflection of the harsh realities of the time. Raised in a poor Protestant family, Mary's early life was marked by adversity. Yet it was amidst these challenges that her extraordinary journey began. Mary's father, Richard Anning, was a skilled cabinet maker, but his modest earnings were insufficient to support his large family. To supplement their income, he combed the rugged cliffs of Lyme Regis, collecting and selling fossils to curious tourists, a trade known as dealing in curiosities. From as young as 5 or 6, Mary accompanied her father on these treacherous expeditions, clambering over slippery rocks and navigating the jagged coastline. She learned to spot the telltale signs of hidden fossils, mastering the art of extracting and cleaning them. This was a highly unconventional pursuit for a girl in the early 19th century, but Mary's sharp eye and insatiable curiosity set her apart. In 1810, tragedy struck when Richard Anning succumbed to tuberculosis, leaving the family in dire financial straits and burdened with debt. Joseph found work as an upholsterer, but it was Mary who shouldered the mantle of fossil hunting to support her mother and herself. With minimal formal education, she had taught herself to read and write. Mary delved deeper into the study of geology and anatomy, disciplines largely inaccessible to women of her social standing. She scoured any books she could find, absorbing knowledge that would fuel her future discoveries. During this period, the Napoleonic Wars rendered travel to continental Europe perilous, prompting affluent Britons to seek leisure along England's coastlines. Seaside towns like Lyme Regis thrived as tourist destinations, and fossil hunting became a fashionable pastime. Visitors eagerly purchased ammonites, locally known as Ammon's horns, and belemnites, common treasures found along the Jurassic Coast. Amidst this growing interest in natural curiosities, a remarkable event unfolded. In 1811, when Mary was just 12 years old, she and Joseph made a discovery that would change the course of scientific history. Joseph spotted an unusual skull protruding from the cliffs. Recognizing its potential significance, Mary dedicated months to meticulously excavating the surrounding rock. Battling the elements and the ever-present danger of landslides, she painstakingly unearthed a 5.2-meter-long skeleton of a creature unlike anything known at the time, a discovery that would captivate the scientific community and lay the foundation for her legacy. Initially believed to be a crocodile, the fossil was later identified as an ichthyosaurus, meaning fish lizard. This marine reptile had lived between 201 and 194 million years ago, during the early Jurassic period. Mary's discovery was groundbreaking, providing tangible evidence of prehistoric life and challenging existing scientific beliefs. Yet despite the significance of her find, Mary received little recognition. The scientific community, dominated by men, was hesitant to acknowledge the contributions of a young woman from a modest background. Her fossils were often sold to collectors and museums without proper credit, and her insights were overlooked in academic circles. Undeterred by the lack of recognition and driven by an insatiable curiosity, Mary delved even deeper into the fossil-rich cliffs of Lyme Regis. In 1823, her relentless exploration led to a monumental discovery. As she carefully chipped away at the limestone and shale, Mary unearthed the first complete skeleton of a plesiosaurus, a marine reptile with an exceptionally long neck and flippers resembling paddles. This creature was unlike anything the scientific world had seen, its strange anatomy defying existing classifications. The fossil's peculiar appearance stirred both excitement and skepticism among scholars. The esteemed French naturalist Georges Cuvier renowned for his expertise in comparative anatomy, initially suspected that the specimen was a hoax. The idea that such a creature had once existed challenged conventional wisdom. A meeting was convened at the Geological Society of London to scrutinize the find. Despite being the discoverer and preparer of the fossil, Mary was not invited to defend her work, a stark reminder of the gender biases of her time. After intense debate and examination, Cuvier conceded that the plesiosaurus was indeed genuine. His acknowledgement not only validated Mary's discovery, but also marked a significant turning point in paleontology, expanding the understanding of prehistoric marine life. In 1828, Mary's relentless quest for discovering new fossils drew her once more to the cliffs of Lyme Regis. It was here, amidst the rugged landscape she knew so well, that she unearthed yet another extraordinary fossil. This time, it was a creature with a long tail and membranous wings, a dimorphodon, representing the first pterosaur ever found outside Germany. This winged reptile suggested that the skies of the Jurassic period were as dynamic as its seas. The discovery of the dimorphodon ignited excitement across the scientific circles in England and France. Scholars and enthusiasts alike were captivated by the notion of ancient creatures that could fly. Mary's findings further cemented the Jurassic Coast as a treasure trove of prehistoric life, drawing attention to the region's unparalleled geological wealth. Fortunately for the scientific world, Mary's relentless curiosity didn't stop at the grand and the awe-inspiring. Venturing into aspects of paleontology that were far less glamorous, she turned her keen eye to the study of coprolites, the fossilized species of ancient creatures. While others might have dismissed these unassuming remnants, Mary recognized their profound scientific value. Through meticulous examination, she unraveled insights into the diets and behaviors of prehistoric animals, piecing together aspects of their lives that skeletal remains alone could not reveal. This work shed light on ancient ecosystems, offering a more comprehensive understanding of the interconnectedness of species long extinct. Her dedication to studying coprolites demonstrated that even the most modest findings could hold crucial keys to unlocking Earth's deep history, further solidifying her indispensable role in the advancement of paleontology. Despite the lack of widespread recognition, Mary's extraordinary work did not go entirely unnoticed. One of her most ardent supporters was Henry Delabèche, a childhood friend who had become a prominent geologist and paleontologist. Deeply inspired by Mary's remarkable discoveries along the Jurassic Coast, Delabèche sought a way to honor her contributions and alleviate her financial struggles. In 1830, he created Duria Antiquia, Latin for a more ancient Dorset, an imaginative yet scientifically grounded illustration depicting prehistorical life as revealed by the fossils Mary had unearthed. The artwork was groundbreaking. It was the first pictorial reconstruction of a prehistoric scene based on fossil evidence. The vivid illustration brought to life a dynamic marine ecosystem teeming with ichthyosaurs, plesiosaurs, pterosaurs, and various fish species, all swimming in the ancient seas that once covered Dorset. Delabèche's attention to detail and commitment to scientific accuracy made the piece not only a work of art, but also an educational tool that helped the public visualize the distant past. Understanding Mary's precarious financial situation, Delabèche arranged to have prints of Duria Antiquia made and sold, donating the proceeds to Mary. This act of kindness not only provided her with much-needed funds, but also helped raise her profile within the scientific community. The illustration became widely popular, influencing future generations of paleo artists and serving as a template for how prehistoric life could be represented. Another prominent figure who recognized Mary's expertise was Gideon Mantell, a fellow English geologist known for his discovery of the iguanodon. Mantell greatly respected Mary's skill in fossil identification and preparation. He corresponded with her frequently, seeking her insights and even crediting her contributions in his scientific writings, a notable gesture in an era where women's work was often overlooked or attributed to men. However, such acknowledgements were exceptions rather than the norm. At the time, the Geological Society of London was the epicenter of geological research in Britain. Founded in 1807, it was an institution that, like many others, did not admit women until 1904. This exclusion meant that Mary was often sidelined from formal scientific discourse. her discoveries presented by male contemporaries without proper attribution. The societal norms and gender biases of the 19th century severely limited her opportunities to gain the recognition she deserved. Yet, whispers of her extraordinary talents began to circulate beyond the circles of those who knew her personally. An article published in the Bristol Mirror in 1823 referred to her as a persevering female, acknowledging that we owe nearly all the fine specimens of ichthyosauri of the great collections to her exertions. Such public recognition, albeit modest, signaled a growing awareness of her contributions. Perhaps one of her most heartfelt commendations came from Lady Harriet Sylvester, the widow of the former Recorder of London. After visiting Lyme Regis in 1824, she penned in her diary, "The extraordinary thing in this young woman is that she has made herself so thoroughly acquainted with the science that the moment she finds any bones, she knows what tribe they belong. It is certainly a wonderful instance of divine favour that this poor, ignorant girl should be so blessed. For by reading and application she has arrived at the degree of knowledge as to be in the habit of writing and talking with professors and other clever men on the subject." By the age of 26, Mary's reputation had grown sufficiently for her to establish Anning's Fossil Depot, a modest shop on Lyme Regis's main thoroughfare. The shop became a hub for geologists, fossil collectors, and tourists drawn by tales of the remarkable fossils emerging from the nearby cliffs. Among her patrons were notable figures such as George William Fenshaw, the first official US government geologist, and King Frederick Augustus II of Saxony, who visited her shop and purchased specimens for his personal collection. Mary also formed a significant friendship with Charlotte Murchison, an accomplished geologist and the wife of Roderick Murchison, a renowned geologist and later president of the Geological Society. Charlotte defied societal expectations by engaging in geological pursuits, and she found in Mary a kindred spirit. Their friendship transcended the rigid class structures of the time and highlighted the collaborative potential among women in science, even when formal institutions barred their participation. Despite these connections and the high regard in which she was held by some of her peers, Mary continued to face relentless financial difficulties. The very nature of her work was fraught with risks. Fossil hunting along the unstable cliffs was perilous, with landslides and unpredictable weather posing constant threats. Additionally, the seasonal ebb and flow of tourism in Lyme Regis meant that her income was erratic at best. In recognition of her invaluable contributions to science, and perhaps in an attempt to alleviate some of her financial burdens, Mary received a modest annuity from the British Association for the Advancement of Science and the Geological Society of London. These grants were unusual gestures given that she was not a member of any scientific institutions due to her gender and social standing. Tragically, in 1847, Mary Anning passed away at the age of 47, succumbing to breast cancer. Her death was a significant loss to the scientific community, though many still did not fully grasp the extent of her contributions. In a departure from tradition, the president of the Geological Society honored her in his annual address, a rare and posthumous acknowledgement of her impact on the field of geology and paleontology. Mary's legacy continued to grow long after her passing. Her life and work began to inspire future generations, gradually earning her the recognition she had been denied in life. In 2010, the Royal Society included her in a list of the 10 most influential British women in the history of science. This belated honour acknowledged not only her groundbreaking discoveries, but also her role in challenging the societal barriers that had constrained her. Mary Anning's story is one of unwavering determination and passion in the face of adversity. Her meticulous work laid foundational stones in the fields of geology and paleontology, expanding our understanding of Earth's ancient past. She navigated a world that was not ready to accept her, yet she persisted, leaving an indelible mark that resonates in scientific circles to this day. As we reflect on her life, we're reminded of the countless others whose contributions have been overlooked due to the circumstances of their birth. Mary's journey encourages us to look beyond societal constraints and recognize the profound impact that dedicated individuals can have on our collective knowledge and understanding. In the years following Mary Anning's passing in 1847, the field of paleontology blossomed into a rigorous scientific discipline. Her pioneering work had laid the groundwork for deeper exploration into Earth's ancient history, inspiring a generation of scientists to delve further into the mysteries preserved in stone. The latter half of the 19th century witnessed a surge in fossil discoveries, fueled by industrial expansion and the advent of new technologies that made excavation and preservation more feasible. One of the significant advancements came with the formulation of the theory of evolution by natural selection by Charles Darwin in 1859. While Darwin's seminal work on the origin of species did not focus extensively on fossils, the fossil record provided crucial evidence for evolutionary connections between species. Fossils became key to understanding the gradual change that led to the diversity of life we see today, reinforcing the concept that species are not immutable but evolve over time. The turn of the 20th century saw the development of radiometric dating techniques, allowing scientists to determine the age of rocks and fossils with unprecedented precision. This breakthrough provided a timeline for Earth's history, enabling paleontologists to place fossil discoveries within a chronological framework. The geological timescale was refined, dividing Earth's history into eons, eras, periods, and epochs, each characterized by distinct life forms and climatic conditions. As the 20th century progressed, discoveries continued to reshape our understanding of prehistoric life. The unearthing of dinosaurs in North America during the infamous Bone Wars between Edward Drinker Cope and Othniel Charles Marsh led to the identification of numerous new species, captivating the public imagination and propelling paleontology into the spotlight. These fierce rivalries, though contentious, accelerated the pace of discovery and expanded scientific collections immensely. In the latter half of the century, the integration of computer technology revolutionized the field. CT scanning and 3D imaging allowed researchers to examine fossils in remarkable detail without damaging them, revealing internal structures and providing insights into the physiology and behavior of extinct organisms. The application of isotope analysis shed light on ancient climates and environments, helping scientists reconstruct the ecosystems in which these creatures lived. The discovery of feathered dinosaurs in China during the 1990s provided compelling evidence linking dinosaurs to modern birds, blurring the lines between these groups and redefining our understanding of evolution. Additionally, the study of mass extinction events, such as the one that wiped out the dinosaurs 66 million years ago, offered valuable lessons about biodiversity and the resilience of life. In recent years, advances in molecular biology have opened new frontiers. While retrieving DNA from ancient fossils remains challenging due to degradation over time, studies of ancient proteins and other biomolecules have begun to unlock genetic secrets of long-extinct species. The discovery of soft tissues in dinosaur fossils, once thought impossible, has sparked debates and excitement about the potential for new types of data. The field has also become more inclusive and collaborative. Scientists from around the world contribute to a global understanding of paleontology, and the contributions of women and underrepresented groups are increasingly recognized and celebrated. Modern paleontologists build upon the legacy of pioneers like Mary Anning, embracing interdisciplinary approaches that combine geology, biology, chemistry, and technology. As we look to the future, the possibilities seem boundless. Emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and remote sensing promise to accelerate discoveries and deepen our understanding. The exploration of previously inaccessible sites, whether in remote corners of the Earth or beneath its oceans, holds the potential to uncover species we have yet to imagine. Moreover, the study of fossils continues to be profoundly relevant. In an age where climate change and biodiversity loss pose significant challenges, understanding past events becomes crucial. Fossils provide a long-term perspective on how life on Earth has responded to previous shifts, offering insights that could inform conservation efforts today. Standing on the shoulders of giants like Mary Anning, we are reminded that there is still so much to discover. The Earth's deep past is a vast, intricate tapestry, with many threads yet to be unraveled. Each fossil unearthed is a glimpse into a world long gone, a puzzle piece that brings us closer to understanding the grand story of life. As we continue to explore, who knows what remarkable findings await us. Perhaps the next groundbreaking discovery lies hidden in a remote desert, beneath the ocean floor, or even within the familiar cliffs of Lyme Regis. The spirit of curiosity that drove Mary Anning and countless others lives on, urging us to keep digging, to keep questioning, and to remain ever open to the wonders that the earth still holds. As our journey along the Jurassic Coast comes to an end, we find ourselves once more atop the majestic cliffs of Lyme Regis, gazing out over the vast expanse of the English Channel. The sun dips low on the horizon, casting a warm, golden light that illuminates the stratified layers of rock, a page in Earth's ancient diary. The rugged beauty of the landscape is a testament to the incredible forces that have shaped our planet, from the fiery beginnings of the Triassic deserts to the teeming Jurassic seas that followed. Walking these paths, we've traced the footsteps of pioneers like Mary Anning, whose tireless curiosity unveiled secrets hidden for millions of years. The cliffs, rich with ammonites and remnants of colossal marine reptiles, stand not only as monuments to geological time, but also as symbols of human perseverance and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. The contrasting landscapes along the Jurassic Coast have shown us the diverse environments that have existed along this coastline, each with its own story etched into the rocks. From the red sandstones shaped by ancient winds to the fossil-laden shales that whisper tales of prehistoric oceans. The Jurassic Coast is a mosaic of natural history waiting to be explored. As the waves continue their eternal dance against the shore, eroding the cliffs and revealing new treasures, we're reminded of the ever-changing nature of our world. The fossils we find are not just relics of the past, but keys to understanding life's grand tapestry, a continuum that connects us to creatures that swam, walked, and flew long before humans set foot on this earth. Looking ahead, we stand on the precipice of endless possibilities. Advances in technology and science promise to deepen our understanding of the planet and its history. Who knows what discoveries await us? What new chapters are yet to be added to Earth's story? Perhaps future pioneers, inspired by the likes of Mary Anning, will unlock mysteries we can't yet fathom. This episode was produced, recorded, and edited on Anawan land, and we acknowledge that this land was never ceded. We recognize and respect the ongoing culture and community of the Anawan people and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, including elders past, present, and emerging. Music used in this episode includes On the Shore by Kevin MacLeod, retrieved from incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license.